Coming up on Relatables.
But that is the story of how I shat my pants across 3 different countries, 2 different flights, and at work, all because I ate a kilo of passion fruit.
Jake and Artie, the Relatables party.
The Relatables podcast is hosted by myself, Jake Craig, aka
Baddie.
and my podcaster in compadre,
Ooh.
Otway,
Yeah.
aka Mummy Clark.
Otway Conrad Clark the third, aka Mummy. I feel a little bit drained, Jake.
Yeah,
Because we just had a confession session.
we did.
And it was one of the best. Honestly,
One
it
of?
was.
It was the
Takes the cake? You reckon it takes the cake?
100%, bro.
Yeah.
100%.
It's been a while since we've had some confession sessions.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd start the episode off fast, heat, dropping you straight in there with a when you gotta go, you gotta go. And
I'll tell you what, it woke me up.
yeah, she was amazing.
We usually record. We're
You love to say this.
We don't record in the mornings, guys. All right, we're not fully awake. We can do shit, but we're not fully recording at our best selves for you until about 1:30.
Pardon the pun. We can do shit.
We can.
Maybe you shouldn't say that word.
So yeah, we're not our best selves for you until about 1:30. All right, and so but today we had to fit a bunch in.
Yeah.
So we started recording at 9. Fuck, that's early.
Such a hard life.
But and yeah, that woke me up.
That was a good story.
That really woke me up. I can't even begin to fathom.
Use one word to describe it.
Oh, I wish I had a really good like thesaurus type of mind here.
Use that frontal lobe.
Diabolical.
I'm going to say trooper.
Trooper.
Yeah.
Diabolical and trooper.
So please enjoy confession sessions.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Confession Sessions. How are you going?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are going great. I'm joined by Jake.
Splendid.
We are excited because we haven't had a confession in a while, so we're excited to hear your story.
Yeah.
First things first is, would you like to be anonymous?
No. All of my friends already know this story.
Okay, very nice to meet you, Katie. I think you
Nice to
said
meet you guys.
you're from New Zealand.
Nice.
I am.
Let's narrow it down.
Yeah, which suburb in particular? No, I'm kidding. The prompt today is when you gotta go, you gotta go. So take it from the top. Don't leave out any little details. I think there's a few things going on, so keep just rolling on, and we'll join in.
We'll listen.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I was in Bali a few years ago. I would have been like 22. And my friends and I decided that for lunch we were going to get a bunch of fresh fruit from the stall on the side of the road.
Risky.
And, yep. And I decided to absolutely demolish an entire kilo of passion fruit because it was so cheap. It was like $4. And back home that would have cost me like $50. So I was a happy chappy.
A kilo of passion fruit.
How do you eat that? Like,
Yeah.
is it like 10 separate passion fruit and you just keep eating
And you
them?
just spoon, like you just eat it with a spoon?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
when you're on holiday, I guess.
holy, that's sick, bro. Oh, wow.
Okay.
So I was feeling fine, like, for the whole day. Went out drinking that night, got absolutely mortaled, as you do in Bali.
Yep.
And the next day I woke up feeling absolutely horrible, and I just put it down to a really bad hangover and terrible booze.
Yeah.
So that day was an absolute write-off, but the day after, I was feeling okay, so I carried on with my plans. I went diving, and while I was underwater, I felt the need to fart, and I thought this will be fine. It will just look like bubbles coming out of the dive tank, but I was so very wrong. Turned out to be a shark, and it leaped out of my wetsuit and started trailing along behind me.
Wait. So you were diving, you went to fart, you were trusting it, and then it turned out to be a shark, and it came out of your wetsuit.
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone see?
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 people that saw it, but I didn't know them, so it was fine. I was never going to see them again.
Fine.
I prefer I know them, to be honest with you.
Did they say anything?
No, they were really good about it.
Please tell me a bunch of fish came up and started swarming you.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know what I prefer, to shard or see a shark.
that's crazy. I'd prefer to see a shark.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you're going to shart somewhere in the ocean.
True, easy cleanup, but it continues, doesn't it?
Oh, it continues. So by that point, I'd realised I definitely had barley belly. And so I was kind of going between what I was doing and the bathroom for most of the day. And then later on in the afternoon, we were hanging out, tanning by the pool, and I had to go. And
When you got to go, you got to go.
Yep. And so I get up. I don't even make it the 5 meters to the bathroom, and I just have no control of my bowel at this point. And it just leaks out of me, and I'm wearing a bikini, and it just runs down my leg in front of the entire hostel. Probably about 20 people saw it, and I was absolutely mortified.
What? You were at a hostel as well?
Yeah.
This gets worse and worse. Oh,
It gets so much worse.
What?
I can't believe when you had barley belly, didn't you feel the urge to like be bedridden? When me and Jake had it, like I didn't want to leave my bed.
I was
because
bad.
of this exact scenario. Making it from your bed to the toilet was hard enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was playing a very risky game.
Very risky. Very.
I slept for like 18 hours when I had a day.
But then that night, I finally got to sleep, and I woke up. It was really hot, as it is in Bali, and I woke up in what I thought was a puddle of sweat. And so I get up, go to the bathroom, go to shower, cool off, and I realized I had actually shat the bed.
Oh my
And
God!
it wasn't sweat; it was diarrhea all through my beard. And
You thought it was sweat. Oh, did it
Yeah.
smell?
no, there was no smell at all. It was just. I wasn't even eating anything. It was just water, essentially. So I clean up. I clean my pajamas in the shower, chuck them in a plastic bag, and figure I will deal with this when I get home. I'm leaving tomorrow. This will all be over soon.
Wait, you took your shit yourself pajamas back in your suitcase. I would have thrown that out.
I did clean them like quite thoroughly.
The first thing I think you did wrong. Look, not you did anything wrong. The first thing, let's be real. The first thing you did wrong was eat a bunch of fucking passion fruit from the side of the road. But I think the second thing you did wrong was stay at the hostel. I'm to be fair, obviously it's expensive to go get a hotel for a night, but I'm the type of person that is going to be like comfort over anything in that moment.
How are you feeling?
Yeah. I was not feeling great.
What about
Not
like
great.
your mental state? Like you've shat yourself in front of 25 people by now, and now you've ruined some sheets.
I was just so over it by this point. I was like, what's going to happen is going to happen, and I just have to deal with it.
Oh, I like that attitude.
To be fair, that's a good attitude. Like, I'll just look back on this and laugh type of thing.
Yeah, I knew eventually it was going to turn into a funny story.
How was the flight home?
Not good. It was not good. I was on the flight. It was a night flight, and I had the window seat. And
Normally
maybe
dub.
4 hours into the flight, I had to go. So I wake up to people sitting next to me, climb over them while trying not to literally shit in their faces, and leg it down the aisle to the bathroom, and I don't quite make it. I make it to the bathroom, but I don't make it onto the toilet.
Oh, did you have your pants down yet?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was a little bit of contamination onto my clothes, but it was fine because I had a change of clothes in my carry-on for this very reason. I planned ahead.
By this point, you were used to it as well.
Yeah. I had seen into the future, and I knew exactly what was going to happen.
I would have been thinking like, is this just my life now?
Yeah, it pretty much was. So I got changed. I get to Melbourne, it's fine, but I still have one more flight back to Wellington. And I'm just praying to all things holy that I make it in one piece, clean.
Katie, how
And-
did it go?
Not good.
Very on theme.
I had an entire row to myself, which made me feel so much better.
Mm.
But I, again, shit myself before I got to the toilet.
Oh my.
But this time I didn't have a clean change of clothes. So I told the air hostess, I was like, I'm so sorry. I was apologizing profusely. And she gave me a blanket to wrap myself in. And thankfully it didn't smell. That was one good thing. And I just wrapped myself in a blanket and just sit in my shit-covered clothes for the rest of the flight.
Oh.
And I get to Wellington, and customs was like, "Are you well? Have you been sick? Are you bringing home any diseases?" And I'm like, "No, I just really want to go home."
I just keep shitting myself.
Oh my.
Which airline were you
God.
flying with? They should have given you some business pajamas. The
Yeah.
dogs.
It was Qantas.
Yeah,
but it was such a
they got
short
so many
flight.
business pajamas in there. That's so dog.
That's so dog
Yeah,
from Qantas.
they
They could
were-
have given you some pajamas.
They were stingy. I should have flown Air New Zealand, but you live and you learn.
Yeah, you're living
Qantas is usually like a good airline. Maybe they're just like pretentious.
Maybe they don't like people who shit themselves.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Wow.
So you made it
Yeah.
home fine after that?
I did, and I was feeling good, so I went back to work the next day.
Mm.
Yeah, I was feeling absolutely fine, and then I was at work. I was working for a dentist at the time, so I was treating a patient, and I felt like I needed to fart. But I thought, given my history, I should probably play this safe. So I excuse myself, I get someone to cover the treatment, and I absolutely leg it to the bathroom. And I make it, but I don't make it.
What?
What is going
When does
on?
this end?
And this is kind of the end. But I shit myself at work. It was confined to my undies. So I clean them off in the sink in the disabled toilet. I go to my boss and I'm like, hey, I have to go home. I am still not well. She already knew I had barley belly. She's like, yep, go home. You're good. Just look after yourself. And then I go to the doctor and I do the poo test, poo in a cup. And I find out I have Shigella and Campylobacter, which are both really bad food poisoning type bugs, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's notifiable diseases in New Zealand. So he had to report me to the literal government
What?
so they could track and make sure there's no outbreak.
Wow.
Wait, it's contagious.
Yeah, very contagious. I didn't know that.
No, I wouldn't
Very
have. I didn't know. I thought barley belly was just food poisoning or the gastro, whatever you call it.
I think this is a
Yeah,
different type
so
of
did
barley
I.
belly. Well, barley belly is a
Yeah.
very broad statement. You can
So
get
you-
very different type of
So
things.
yeah, you just basically contracted a disease.
Yeah, and I brought it back into the country.
and
Slay.
you left shit everywhere.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
left a trail of disease behind you. Is what you
I
did.
really did.
How-
Yeah, but that is the story of how I shat my pants across 3 different countries, 2 different flights, and at work, all because I ate a kilo of passion fruit,
Oh,
which I later found out is actually a laxative,
Yes.
which makes
I-
so much sense.
I was going to say there's certain fruits that you can eat too many of them and it makes you constipated, and then you can eat too many of them and it's actually a laxative. I did know that.
Well, how long
Yeah.
did it take you to get better after that?
I had been sick in Bali for a week, and then it took me another week back home to get better. So it was 2 weeks total.
Okay.
Did the doctor give you any medicine?
No. He was like, there is nothing you can do. Just drink lots of water.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I feel for you, but I love your attitude. You
Yeah,
just
your
kept
attitude's
going,
good.
kept getting at it, kept attacking the day.
I want to know that first solid shit. Genuinely, was there a happier day of your life?
No, I've never felt happier. I text my friends. I called my mum. I was so happy.
If you're a boy, you would have taken a photo of it and been like, yes,
Yes.
I'm back, baby.
Oh my god, that is honestly hands down the best
When you gotta
confession
go.
we have ever had ever.
Well,
doesn't
Katie,
end.
thanks so much for coming on.
Yes,
That's all right.
you're a champion.
Yeah, you really are.
Thanks, Tim.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Oi. God damn it.
I'm speechless.
That is the worst story I've ever heard.
When everyone was submitting their confession sessions, all of them were like one paragraph. I clicked on this one and it was fucking huge.
I'm surprised you read it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you read it.
I'm glad I did.
Was there any other good confessions that were in there?
There was a few. There was a few, but
good
this
ones.
one took the cake by far.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we should have saved it for some sort of finale if we ever have one. You know what now the series for confession sessions is? Who has a better one than that?
I don't know if you can beat it.
That's genuinely, in my opinion, unbeatable.
Well, I think, not being mean, some people learn from their mistakes. She just kept going. At least she learned at the dentist, to be fair.
She has trust.
Yeah.
She didn't make it, though. Yeah. The way she didn't learn from her mistake there is that she went to work.
Yeah, the day after she got
Katie,
back.
what are you doing? Whoa. To be fair, I guess it's like, you take a couple weeks off work.
Yeah.
And you come back and you're sick and you don't want to be like,
Can I have another day? Yeah.
I'm sick.
Still, I am sick.
And then, so you go, I'm trying to be a trooper. I'm going to go to work, even though I'm sick, because I've just had a bunch of time off. You know, they had to get someone in to cover my shifts. And then you shit yourself.
I love it because everyone has a story similar to this.
Everyone has some, what?
One way or
similar
another.
to that.
Similar to when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Oh yeah, everyone has a when you gotta go, but no one has that story, bro. And if you have one that compares to that, reach out.
Yeah.
At relatable69@gmail.com.
Oh shit.
All right, because we will read that.
You're giving him our actual email.
Relatables69@gmail.com. Reach out, confession sessions. When you gotta go, you gotta go. You gotta beat Katie though.
That sounds like Jake's taking the piss. He's not. That's our
No,
email.
That's our actual email. Okay, damn. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
I did.
Yeah, and again, I've said it at the end of there, but please, reach out. Reach out to that email. I think with confession sessions, we used to try and do different themes. We had like bad first date. Obviously, when you got to go was always a bit. And then I think we just like did broad spectrum, confess anything. But when you got to go, I think that's the only one we do forever.
I think it's the most relatable because everyone's had a story, like you said, not similar, but everyone's got a story of shitting himself. So it's so funny. And we sort of steered clear into like the other ones are a bit more deeper and like, what's some advice for yourself in your 20s?
Yeah.
They're not really confessions, but these are. And I love that she didn't want to be anonymous.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we should stop asking if people want to be anonymous. Just
own it.
Just own that shit. Unless it's something that no one knows about. They're really confessing for the first ever time. I recently took Joanna to the airport. Maybe it must be about 2 weeks ago now.
Is that when she flew back to Canada?
To go move back to Canada.
No. Jake's sister's gone.
Yeah. And so I have forever I've had something wrong with my tummy, right? Slowly trying to like figure stuff out. I'm gonna start doing like low FODMAP diet. I'm just gonna start. One of the things I have said is like I've never cut out caffeine or coffee, and that's what I'm slowly starting to do, like mixing decaf with caffeinated and stuff.
Have you started?
I've started. I've at home. I've got 50% decaf, 50% caffeinated.
Oh, are you like weaning off? Is that how you do it?
I'm gonna wean off because it like fucks you up when you're addicted to it, and you
can't
go cold turkey.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's fun.
What's the? Did you follow through?
Because what I was going to say is I had here. I had like full 100% caffeine because I didn't bring my 50-50 mix, and it's affecting me.
Really? Yeah. How do you establish if you're addicted or not?
Well, I've had caffeine every day for a long time.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
So I don't know if I just dare say I'm addicted.
Do you reckon it's going to affect your podcasting ability?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Jake's just like, oh God.
But where I was going with that was, so I took Joanna the night before, Joanna stayed at Beth and I's house and we went out for dinner. And we went and got this thing called malatang. It's like an Asian dish where it's like, wasn't smart, especially for Joanna to go on a flight. But the next morning I'm driving Joanna to the airport and I felt fine and instantly the feeling of shitting needed to come upon me. So I had to pull off and take a shit just while dropping Joanna to the airport. And I was like,
that's like 15 minutes from your house.
I can't it's so close. I can't hold shits in
Yeah.
when I need to go. It's fucking insane.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
It's legit. Like when you gotta go, you gotta go. I live and die by that. And I always know where public toilets are. I'm dead serious.
It must be so hard being you and like in your brain, you're comprehending where's the closest public toilet if I need it.
You know how there's like a instinctual thing in men's brains of knowing where the closest exit is?
Is there?
It is. It's I was reading this.
That feels like a throw.
I told you about this. No, it is a thing. Like I told you about this book, that thing of why men don't listen and women can't read maps. It's just about the difference of men and women by this like science couple. And one of the things is like men do always know where the nearest exit is, but I think it's starting to slowly wean out with our generation because I can't read a map and I don't look for exits because I look for toilets. I don't look for exits. I look for toilets.
Maybe that's what we've evolved to.
Fair. We're all fucked up in the stomach.
Maybe.
Because we just eat all this processed crap.
Well, did you look into those pods I told you about? Did you reckon that was a good idea?
I'm happy to try them.
Yeah.
It's just that they're $300 a bag or a bottle or
But
whatever.
imagine that fixed you.
It's
There's
good
like these
investment.
pods
Should we just
that
get a couple each?
are good for your gut, and they have like 1 billion good bacteria.
Yeah.
And it's got like the best Peruvian, I don't know, bacteria, algae
Shit,
type
bro.
stuff.
It could fix me.
And it's this black pod, and each one's like $15 each, and it's meant to be really good for your gut and your gut health.
It could fix me. You never know.
Maybe.
It's just I fucking struggle with it.
Yeah.
Like halfway through this episode, I reckon I'm going to have to go take a shit because of the cough. And I think I'm putting it down. The only thing that's changed for the last week is now that I've had normal 100% caffeine coffee.
Well, it's going to be a long process. What does it actually like feel like to have maybe something wrong with you is not the best way to put it, but like deal with something like with your gut that you can't really figure out the issue to, and like how does that affect your like mental state and stuff?
Kind of annoying because doctors always just like, I've had like a camera down my stomach and my mum's telling me I need to go back. She's like, there's all these things that you could have, and the longer you wait, she was like, you're going to have to beg a doctor to test for them. Because she's a nurse, and my mum has all these things because she's had all these stomach issues. My dad has them, and they all wouldn't get tested until they got to such a bad state where the doctor goes, okay, well, it could be this. And now it's to a point where it's irreversible. Because like you do all these like micro damages to your stomach that's so minuscule that you can only test for if they take like a biopsy of your stomach, like a biopsy of something in your bum. I don't know, they can't wrap your bum. And
Can you do that one? I feel
yeah,
like that'd be a good
I know.
story.
I actually think I need to do it, bro.
Yeah, I want you to do that one.
So, but the thing
as a
about
supportive
that,
friend, I think you should do that one.
Well, we got private health insurance now,
Yeah.
so fucking
Plug.
I got my private health insurance, so I'll go and I'm gonna go to the doctor. I'm just gonna say, okay, look,
I want to cover up my bum.
book me in for the thing. Give me a biopsy. I'm sick of this all this bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sick of taking a pill every day, just to like try and stay good. And so yeah, I guess that's what's it like? It's annoying because doctors, every time I go to the doctor, and I've asked, they just don't give a shit.
I feel like doctors don't listen.
No.
If you're not saying like the definition of a disease or something wrong with you, they're like, oh, here you go. Just go take some pills.
Yeah.
They really don't help that much unless you find like a really, really good one who cares and wants to get to the bottom of it.
When I watched that Brian Johnson thing, that guy, he's a psycho.
Yeah.
Again, psychotic. But he made a good point that in our Western world and East, in the whole world, basically, the way our medical system is set up is you wait until, and the medical system, they wait until something goes wrong with you and then they try to fix it instead of trying to prevent it.
Yeah. It is weird, eh?
When you say it like that, it's like, why aren't we out here trying to prevent shit?
It's because you add to like the income for the government and everything. You're
100%.
buying medicine, you're going to the doctors, good
Yep.
for the ecosystem economy and everything like that. I'll tell you what's interesting too. Did you find when you were a kid, you could deal with it a lot more? Like I'm talking 15 to 18 a little bit more? Yeah, I'm the same too. So I inherited from my mum really, really bad hay fever.
Okay.
Not the same magnitude of problem.
Nah, that would annoy me, bro.
but
I'm telling
it's
you.
so fucking annoying.
Nah, that would annoy me.
It is the annoyingest thing ever. And the hardest thing about having a girlfriend is going to her house and there's a lot of female products and smells going around. She likes to have her house smelling nice, which I like for the ambiance, the smell and everything like that. But I have like hay fever attacks there and my eyes start watering. Looks like I'm high as fuck. And I'm just sneezing. And if I don't have my medicine on me, I fully have to go home. Because I can't stay around there. She's like, are you okay? I feel bad.
How is this prevented?
Yeah.
Did you say she feels bad?
Yeah.
Get rid of the fucking flowers, Cassie.
Yes. But sometimes I come over unannounced and stuff, and she likes
True,
flowers.
yeah. And you
stuff.
forgot your any histamines. You're like, shit.
I feel like the biggest simp. I'm like, oh, I can't come in here.
Oh,
like the other day,
wow.
she had one of those. Are they called air purifiers? Or those ones that put out like essential oils?
Yep.
smelled-
that upsets you off.
Yeah, it smelled really nice in there. And then like 15 minutes in, I'm just there like,
Okay. Okay, in Cassie's defense, it's like I could understand if she had flowers, like a bunch of flowers, and they were setting you off.
Yeah.
I would say get rid of the flowers for your boyfriend.
Yeah.
But if she can't have essential oils,
Yeah, and sometimes also
crazy.
for her defense, I don't know actually what it is. It could be a plant that's flowering outside her house. And the flower, the pollen's going around her house, and then I walk in and it's just like, oh my God.
so it's just her area.
But I definitely have inherited it. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Inherited it longer, like later in my life.
Interesting.
Like maybe I just copped it when I was younger, but now I've almost turning 25. I feel like it's got so much worse.
Yeah.
And my brother's got like the full, you can go get different needles and they like test for all the different
I've tried that.
allergens.
Yeah.
And he says it works because they test for all the ones you're allergic to and then
Yeah.
inject you to it so you're immune.
That's sick.
Kind of feels like some like Walking Dead type shit. I might do it.
It's cool. I've had an allergy test when I was younger, and
Yeah.
you go in and they basically will. It's like they're giving you a microdose of things that are super common to be allergic to, and they prick your arm.
Yeah.
And I had like 12 pricks on my arm, and if one of them welted up, then you're allergic to that thing.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't welt up 20 of them. But
I should really do it.
It's cool. I remember going in like because when I was younger, I would always like if I from young, I've always had this thing where when I need to shit, and I can't hold it in. My mum was like, "That's not normal," because it actually isn't normal.
Yeah.
And I also would always vomit whenever we had spaghetti bolognese,
That's weird.
right? And so my mum thought that obviously the first time she thought she undercooked the meat, and only I was affected. Blah blah blah. All this time, and then she worked out. I kept vomiting, and she worked out it was every time that we had spaghetti. And so we went, and I got tested, and I got confirmed to have celiac.
Oh.
So I was vomiting from the pasta. And so I was confirmed celiac. And then about a year later is when my dad got custody of us. Or it was not even a year, to be honest with you. It was so quick. And so I went straight from, so my mum's going, he's celiac. Like, if you're taking him, you got to fucking feed him gluten-free shit.
Your dad's like, yeah, whatever.
And so when we got there, I think my dad knew that. And I said, Dad, no, that stuff tastes bad.
Yeah.
Because it was still semi-new. I was like, that's
Especially as a kid.
yeah, I was like,
Like, it's hard to be a celiac, and if you're like, how old are you? 10 or something?
mate, I was like 10,
Yeah,
11.
Yeah, you would have been like, yucky.
I was like, bro, this stuff tastes
I'll
terrible.
vomit, Dad.
So,
Like,
yeah. So I would, basically I was like, I just said, nah, we're not doing gluten-free. And I would have Wheat Bix every morning. And my stepmom started noticing, she was like, every single time Jake eats Wheat Bix, not even 4 minutes later, he takes a shit. She goes, this isn't normal. And I go get tested in Australia for celiac, negative.
Oh.
And I was like, I full said to the guy, I'll be honest, when I was in Canada a year ago, I got tested positive. He goes, oh, well, you're negative here. I said, okay, fair. I was like, okay, fair. And so I just really have just been putting up with it. I sometimes eat gluten-free, sometimes I don't. And I really don't notice a difference.
Yeah, right.
When I eat gluten-free, I just think my metabolism is just like, it works in hyperdrive.
I remember when we travelled up the east coast of Australia, you were in your gluten-free era.
Yeah.
And I remember all the food you had to eat. It
Yeah.
was very, wasn't the nicest of stuff. But
You get used to it. It's getting better. But it's also a little more expensive.
it is too, which is really annoying. But it's hard to deal with the cards you're dealt.
Yeah. Recently, I've cut out lactose.
Mate, you're just trying
So
everything.
I'm trying lactose-free milk in my coffee. I just have rice, chicken, beef, avocado, fruit. I'm chilling. Recently, I wasn't doing gluten-free, but then this week was the first week I bought gluten-free bread. And yeah, I don't know. I'll see what happens, guys. I'll keep you updated. This is why we need to go do all that the testing.
Yeah, we do. We need to book that in.
Yeah, we got to book that in.
I'll put that on you.
Yeah. Oh, shit. All right, if I write it down, I'll do it.
next time-
To be fair, if I write it down, I'll do it. My notes have been good.
Next time you have some Wheat Bix and then you shit for 20 minutes, call a place and be like, guys, I need some help.
To be honest with you, though, having a lot of time on the toilet, you get shit done.
The other day, so we obviously post clips every single day on Instagram and TikTok, and Jake posted on Instagram, and usually he has a little system in his head of how he does things, and the Instagram one posted, I normally go like him and watch him again because I haven't seen him because Jake edits them. Then an hour went past and I was like, I'll just check TikTok, see if it's up there. I think 2 hours went past. I was like, I wonder what he's doing. I just sent him a little voice message. I'm like, oh, maybe the TikTok one you posted didn't work. He's like, oh no, I was taking a shit. posted the Instagram, then I must have finished. So yeah.
You know what it is? Brain rot. I posted the Instagram, got stuck on Reels, and then I finished my shit and forgot about it. I don't know when these bricks are coming.
Yeah,
by the way, I don't know when they're coming.
We need to get off our phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, I got a deep question for you, Oddy.
Yeah, we did this on Patreon actually.
Yeah, we wanted to bring deep back in a way where we just enjoyed it.
Feels organic, and also we're going to learn something about each other, but more so the question Jake's about to ask, you can also answer in the comments.
Yeah, boy.
And we want to get to know the audience.
Yes.
I think it's a good little concept.
Yes, we do.
But Jake, before you do that, I feel like this would be the perfect time to plug Patreon.
Yes.
And we said we're going to come up with a new little script to plug it each week. And
Okay.
Jake actually came up with one organically when we were just talking. Do you remember what it was?
No.
So on Patreon, I think we have about 1,800 members.
Yeah.
Don't worry, not all of them are paid. But if we get to 2,000 members, we will do a live show.
Oh, no, my idea was if we get 1,000 paid members, we'll do a live show.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
Every 1,000 paid members, we're going to do a live show.
Okay.
Because we get messages. When's the live show? How about a live show? We get emails. How about a live show? We get messages on Patreon. How about a live show?
Yeah.
The messages on Patreon, you guys are committing to the cause.
Yeah.
So we've got...
Put your money where your mouth is.
So how we've got... It says there we have 1,800 members, but they're not all paid because you can be a member and then not pay for it.
Patreon does the dumbest thing where when you unsubscribe, you stay a member. So you just get to see all our content, but you can't click on any of it.
Yeah.
Which is the weirdest concept.
It is weird.
Yeah.
I guess they try and do it because they want the person to still get the notification to then maybe try and resubscribe because Patreon takes a cut.
Yeah, but it makes
so that's
me
how
feel
they make
sad
money.
because I'm like, that used to be our money.
Yeah. No, we used to provide that person with content.
Yeah.
But no, so if we get 1,000 paid members,
Yeah.
we will 100% do a live show.
Yeah, 100%. So that's
Okay,
the plug.
That's the plug. 1,000 paid members live show, and then once we get that, 2,000 paid members live show. Boom, boom.
And if we like live shows, we might do it more. But that's the first step, 1,000 paid members.
So my deep question, Oddy, is how do you, or what are your thoughts, and how do you feel about love now compared to 5 years ago?
Ooh.
When you were 19, I was 20.
I kind of even like the question of how do I feel about love before and after my girlfriend for a year.
Okay.
Can I use that?
I mean, maybe go ahead, change my question, do whatever you want.
I like the broad spectrum, but okay, how do I feel about it? How old was I? 20.
19, 20.
Young whippersnapper.
Yeah. And everyone listening, how did you feel about love 5 years ago compared to now?
My idea of love definitely when I was 19 was like being the same human and your life was like revolved around each other. And I definitely believed in like 50% of people add together and they make the perfect person, the perfect couple. And what have I learned along the journey? I know what I think now, obviously.
Yeah.
But along that journey, I think I learned a lot of independence and I think I learned what makes up me as a person and my contribution to a relationship. And I figured out that I need to be 100% confident in myself prior to getting into a relationship. So what I think about love now is you're two 100% and you add together your own independent thing and you build this beautiful little entity that like coincide together and work together as a team and benefit each other. It's sort of also like us as a podcast. When I'm doing something, if I'm confident doing something good, you sort of like steer away. But if I'm struggling, you pick up and you pick up the slack of the rope a little bit, which is like a relationship.
Yeah.
And you work as a team in like cohesive nature, which is really, really good. Really good. What about you?
Well, I was 20. I reckon 5 years ago, I think I was still stuck in the mindset of like, if you weren't the way you were, like if the whole thing wasn't honeymoon phase, then you weren't meant for each other.
Yeah.
That's what I used to kind of think like.
I vaguely remember those conversations too.
Yeah, I used to think like.
Everything's always meant to be like the honeymoon stage.
Because social media was obviously already it was still massive, blah, blah, blah. So we're all influenced by social media and you see stuff and maybe growing up I used to love watching a lot of vlogs on YouTube. And it's interesting that I will say the relationships that you see in front of you in real life, I find, aren't the ones that I would compare to. Not that you should compare, but you know, you don't see I don't see my parents be sexually physical.
No.
I don't see grandparents do that. They look like friends. But and I would say they have a great relationship, but I would compare my relationship to those online that look like they're in the honeymoon phase for their whole time, like the whole relationship. And so when that would end, I wouldn't leave a person, because then I would say to myself, well, then I'm just leaving them for the wrong reason. And it would take me ages to admit that I wasn't right for someone and they weren't right for me.
It's interesting too, because I feel like that era of content we were consuming was very fake, and everything was trying to be portrayed as perfection. And now it's a bit more real and organic, and you see the real side of things. But I definitely felt the same in a lot of aspects too. And one thing I've learned about being in a relationship now is I kind of like those highs and lows. And like, obviously the honeymoon stage is amazing. And then you go through this phase where you like sort of just like being friends. Obviously you still love each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the beauty of love. It still holds you together no matter what.
Yeah.
And there's moments where you're thinking like, oh yeah, this is fucking the best thing ever. Then there's moments where you're like, oh, this is just chill.
I think I
feel like people are lying to themselves when they think like, oh, it's always just amazing.
Yeah, you need to have this fire inside of you, and you need to feel like you're exploding with love. Sometimes you're probably going to genuinely question if you even like this person. You're going to know that you love them because
That's when love conquers.
Yeah, but you're going to think, honestly, I just don't even like you right now. Just get out of my freaking sight. But so the way I look at it now is a lot more, let me think about this. Kind of that, one, it's obviously going to be difficult. And two,
I definitely thought love was easy when I was 19.
Yeah, I used to think it should have been easy.
Yeah, if you're in love with someone, it's going to be the easiest thing ever. And I didn't think relationships will work.
Yes.
When they are constantly working.
Yes. I think like accepting that is a big thing. But the way I look at it now is kind of more like I want it to just be like the best friendship. And I still you still see things online where it'll be like a relationship guru saying that if you're having troubles in your relationship, the thing that's going to fix it all is like, think about the last time you had sex or whatever. And I think that just puts so much pressure on relationships. Again, sex is obviously a huge part of it. But I think that when people slow down the amount that they have sex, it's a thing that people get stressed about. I mean, me included.
Yeah, me too.
Me included. Because you even think like, because like you could go like a week without, sleeping next to the same person each night and being like, oh, we haven't had sex. How come they aren't making me horny? And it's like, you're just fucking going through a phase where you're not that horny.
Yeah.
Literally, like it's probably just hormonal. But the way I look at it now is more of like I don't know, because with Beth, she's the first one I've lived with. And I don't know, it just like feels like here doesn't feel like home anymore.
Home is where your heart is. With her.
Yeah, here doesn't feel like home.
That's interesting. I definitely felt when I was 19, I think a hormonal imbalance was definitely a contributing factor, but I still obviously value sex in a relationship. I prioritized sex a lot more when I was younger and thought its value was a lot higher. And like you said, if I wasn't having sex, something was wrong. But I feel like sex is like the added benefit at the end of all the beautiful things about love. And that's just like that connection at the end. It's like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And when you have it, even if it is 3 weeks or a month after a gap, sometimes you stress it in your head, but then you have it. And it's sort of like reassurance. I think that's what sex is at the end of the day for a relationship. It's just like...
Yeah, it is kind of becomes like a reassurance thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is right. This feels good. It's not necessarily like, yeah, I just got off. Fuck yeah. It's more like, fuck, that felt amazing. I love that we just did that together. Fair. I feel like that's what sex is.
No, fair.
But
It is. It's funny.
But it's funny how much growth we've had in even such a little amount of time.
Yeah,
It's only 5 years.
I even feel like at the start of the podcast, when we first started it, we may have had the mindset of it's 50%'s making a 100.
I think we did.
I have a feeling I recall talking about that with a microphone in front of my face for some reason. So
really-
it's even in that amount of time changed from no, it's 2 100s where you need to look at it as I'm okay alone.
Yeah.
I'm 100%, yeah. And then you come together and yeah.
Well, I also like, too, from this podcast, we've been exposed to so many female brains.
Yeah.
And it's a very unique experience. And I'd like to say we were pretty good prior to it already, but even more so being exposed to what happens to them in the world, unfair, and the positives as well, but also like how they think has really changed our thinking process in a lot of ways. And I think that's somewhat affected how we perceive love and how we perceive females in the world. And I think it's a benefit in the long run, to be honest.
No, facts. I agree. Like even getting an email from someone that goes, I really like you guys, but you said this one thing and I think you're wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong. And then them changing our mind on something.
Yeah.
Like someone changed my mind. It was ages ago. I was in the mindset of like, why are we getting married if you're not going to take my last name?
Yeah.
And then someone sent this really good email and I was like, and I really thought about it and I was like, yeah, fuck that. Why would they take your last name? To be fair, completely, I was like, why would? I actually have no reason to think is why would they do it unless they just genuinely wanted to.
Yeah,
and of course I would want you to.
I was pissed because I was fighting for they
You
could
were
keep their
fighting
last
for
name
it,
and then
and
it took
I
an
was-
email for you to fucking change your mind.
And she just was way more linguistic, articulate. It was interesting though. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. That's for sure.
It is cool. And I think one other thing that's good about the pod is that you and I are exposed to each other.
Yeah.
And again, with the question that I just asked, we lead into this 10, 15-minute conversation of things that, like, if we went and hung out with our friends and had dinner, no one's going to sit there and go, boys, like, how did you feel about love 5 years ago compared to now?
Yeah.
Not that we can't do it. And to be completely honest, I reckon our mates would probably answer it after a laugh of like, ha ha ha, you idiot, whatever.
Yeah.
But they would probably answer it, to be fair, if you're like, no, I'm serious. But it just doesn't happen.
It doesn't hit the same either.
Nah.
Because we kind of really think about it. Whereas to be fair, half of our friends would say like, oh, I still feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like I just love her. Love's just love.
Yeah, I wouldn't be completely surprised if we had a friend that goes, I mean, you should have that fire inside you the whole time. You're like,
Yeah, but that's why we're all on different journeys. And like our developmental phase happens at different stages for everybody.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
for real.
But ours is just happening together because we do things together.
Yeah, facts. Any any deep questions you guys
comment
want to
on
ask us?
100%.
We're open to other ones, but to be fair, again, easy to think of. There's so many.
Yeah.
Oddy,
Yeah.
IG question this week was,
What gives off big dick energy?
yes, good lead on from last week. Answers to this, I think, are better than the answers to what gives off small dick energy.
Maybe because people think about it more. Because they want that in their life.
Yeah, so are we going to say what gives off BDE? It's a pretty well-known phrase, BDE.
Is it? What gives off BDE?
Big dick energy, yeah, BDE.
Is that well known? I didn't know it.
fair? Okay, well, okay,
Or is it because you can't say dick for the clips?
No, it's easy to cut out.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, do we say BDE?
You can say it, man.
No.
You can be different.
Okay.
Cool and stuff.
So, what gives off big dick energy? I'm going to start off with what I think will be the best answer, and I want to spend the rest of the segment trying to get an answer as good as that.
Okay.
Okay? So, what gives off big dick energy? Knowing how to use a small dick.
Oh! That is a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that and I froze.
That's what you do, don't you?
Hey, it is what it is. At least I'm giving off that BDE, bro.
I don't know about this BDE stuff, eh? Okay, I think I maybe have a better answer to start.
Shit, okay.
What gives off big dick energy? Resand.
Oh, fuck. That is a good one. Oh. Bro, he does.
I've been
Aura.
I've been stuck on. I got on Akator TikTok,
Same.
and there's all these animations or like AI animation. I don't know who
I
does
haven't
them.
been getting them.
They're amazing.
Wow.
But it made me realize my imagination of Akator is like Povo.
Oh.
Like these animations are like amazing. I was like, oh shit, these people look insane in my
Yes.
head. Like I feel like I'm poor.
No, I wasn't feeling that in my head. What's been wigging out me is a little bit I've read just the first couple chapters of A Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah.
And I also have been listening to the graphic audio. And it's pretty sick. Have you started?
No, I haven't. I'm starting tomorrow.
Okay, sweet. And so it's pretty sick. But what was wigging me out with A Court of Thorns and Roses and just like the whole universe is I was trying to think, like, what time period are they in? Because they have a flushing toilet. You'll figure it doesn't give anything away. Just like within the first couple of pages, like Farah talks about a toilet and flushing it. And I was like, okay, fair. Like I knew they probably had to go somewhere, but it made it sound, to me, it seems like they're in an age where they don't even have an electricity. I'm thinking no electricity because everything's magic.
I was thinking 1800s.
See, I'm thinking like flames on the walls at night type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking just there's no cars, everything, you get there by horse. And then in Prithian, obviously they're magical and they can do all this shit, whatever. But so yeah, I'm trying to figure out what time period they're in, because also, like, I was also under the impression they didn't have paper. But then she's got canvases to paint on, right? And then there's just a line in the first couple of pages of A Court of Mist and Fury where Farah goes, oh, like Tamlin came to bed late because he was doing a lot of paperwork.
Oh.
I was like, why is Tamlin doing paperwork? He's a fucking magical High Lord of Prithian who turns into a beast and killed Amarantha.
Well, they had back in the day, like Inkaya used to dip like the felt tip pen.
Just like, what's he doing paperwork
Yeah,
for?
true.
I don't get it.
I feel like one benefit of Akator and Sarah J. Maas's books is because they haven't been depicted into a movie. I kind of think Harry Potter has ruined the books because everyone's seen the movies and everyone pictures Harry Potter as he is.
Yeah.
Whereas this is all up to the reader's imagination.
That's a very good point.
which is kind of cool because I think differently to what you think.
That's a good point. I was listening to Shits and Geeks today, and they're reading Fourth Wing, which we now can't read because I know everything about it. But they were saying like it would be sick if they did a movie depiction or a show depiction, right? But then they were saying, so James said, it's so hard to get a book right because of how each individual reader reads the book, and then the person that's going to write the show, they read the book and they see it with their own imagination. It's going to be different to yours. It can't be the exact same.
Yeah, that's why you need the writer to have it how they want it.
And they were saying, I would like this, but I don't know if you would, but they were saying if they did it via animation.
Ooh. Oh, these animations I've been seeing are
The thing that's
sick.
good about animation is with the same budget, you can do, like, you don't need CGI. You can draw anything.
Yeah.
So you may, I think if they do it, they need to do an animation, or they need the budget to be so high that they can have the best CGI ever.
Check your TikToks, man. I've sent you some animations.
Okay,
and they're
shit.
sick.
Okay, hectic. Okay, okay, I'll go. What gives off big dick energy? Texting you back on a night out.
Oh, that is big dick energy. That's just class.
Yeah, that's class. That's class.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Yeah.
What gives off big dick energy? It being his idea to use a toy or vibrator.
Oh, really?
Let me just go grab the toy, the vibrator.
Damn. Okay, fair.
I've done it once.
Okay.
It's hard to time as a man
Yeah.
because sometimes it's so intimate. But like when you're changing positions or something, like, do you mind if I go grab a vibrator? I feel like that is hard.
Yeah, that is kind of hard, to be fair. Like, I'm not threatened by a little vibrator.
Yeah.
This little vibrator, it can just do whatever it wants, but I'm going to finish you off.
Yeah, use it to benefit your game.
Yeah, like I'm going to make the lead up
Yeah.
good, but this thing's not going to finish you off. That's crazy.
It probably will.
What gives off big dick energy? Whatever the opposite of nonchalant is.
Yeah, so chalant isn't a word. We figured that out.
I disagree. Chalant is very much a word, and it's the opposite of nonchalant. Or should I say, the opposite of chalant is nonchalant. Because you don't create a word with the word non in front of it without there being a word already.
Yeah, I hear. But I definitely agree.
Impressed, unimpressed. Impressed was first.
Yeah. Big dick energy is caring.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
That's one thing, not about love, but my ideas about 5 years about, I don't know, getting girls compared to now is I used to think you got to be cool and be seen as this cool guy. No, you got to care.
Yes.
You got to be caring
Agreed.
and put in effort.
Agreed.
That's what's important.
100%.
Yeah. What gives off big dick energy? No social media.
Ooh. Ooh. I thought some people
Lies.
I was just gonna
Lies.
say, I thought they give off kind of like red flaggish energy.
Lies. I think like, imagine if you found like, I don't know, some carpenter or like someone and he's like just hardworking, has a nice car. It's like, oh, what's your social? It's like, I don't have it. He's a bit of a green flag.
Kind of, yeah.
Also serial killer vibes.
True.
Yeah.
True. It's giving. I'm trying to think here. I feel like maybe that would be good. No social media could be the guy.
It would be good. It'd be a simple life.
He wouldn't know anything. Let's be completely honest. He wouldn't know anything.
Your conversations would be very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know anything. What gives off big dick energy? When they put their hand on the back of the passenger seat when they're reversing the car.
Old classic. Yeah.
Oh!
Does it matter what car you're in?
I don't know.
What gives off big dick energy? Someone that is loud and proud about their partner.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I like that.
I feel like one thing that social media has brought up is like some people are maybe afraid to betray their relationship online because some people judge them.
Yeah.
Or some people think of them differently.
Yeah.
But I think it's such an attractive trait when guys especially when they're like, yeah, it's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, facts.
I draw the line at name and bio. I'm glad that's gone out of fashion.
Yeah, I'm not doing that name and bio.
I feel like that's
thing
some
anymore.
ownership type shit.
Yeah, I did it when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you?
I think I definitely did.
That's
Oh no, I
weird.
don't think I did name. I did it was like I did a little riddle.
That's okay. I feel like a name's so weird. Such a weird concept to me.
What I have done, I feel like with my very first girlfriend, I might have did name and bio.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it is still a thing.
Yeah.
Some people still do it.
Yeah. Each their own. Not
Fair.
for me. Not for me.
Okay, this one could be sexy.
Okay.
What gives off big dick energy? Being dominant and in control, but not in a controlling way.
Nah, here. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I feel
I
like
get
I
it.
hear that.
Yeah. You're like,
I see that working.
you're in control, but like you're not ordering shit around.
No.
You're not being like, controlling.
So you're not a controlling person, but you're dominant and in control. I dare say it's specifically bedroom stuff.
It's basically aura.
Yeah.
Like in the bedroom, it just sort of flows with you instead of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I see it.
I see it. That's hard to describe.
It is hard.
What gives off big dick energy? Ordering a fruity little drink. I like it.
I like that trend where it's the waiter that is going, and for the lady, a salad, and then it's a girl's voice going, I don't think so. I'll have the steak, blah 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 blah. And the trend going around right now is a girl with this fruity drink going, and for the lady, a salad, but on the screen it says, and for the boy, a beer.
Yeah.
And it goes to the boy with the fruity drink, and he goes, no, I don't think so. It's actually pretty funny.
I love a fruity drink.
Oh, okay. Same. What gives off big dick energy? Skinny white boys.
Yeah. I have one. Where was it? Lean, introverted men.
Fair,
Yeah.
bro. Fair. They think, I mean.
I saw there was 2 Jake Craigs and 1 Oddie Clark.
Let's go.
And they're all sent in by men.
Hey,
I was like, our 9% male audience on Instagram coming in clutch.
I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get.
I saw in the comments of a video, someone commented, I wonder what these boys' stats are for like gender. And heaps of people thought it was like 60-40, like everything like that. I was like, I'm not going to comment and like tell them what it is. It's fucking 90-10.
It's 90-10,
Yeah.
bro. I think it's even like 93-7
Yeah, we love it. What gives off big dick energy? Painted nails.
Okay, really?
I've been meaning to get mine done in Australia.
Apparently not to the lady that painted your nails. in Bali.
Yeah. I don't care about them. I only care about my girlfriend.
No, fair.
yeah.
Fair. You should find like a good one.
That's what I mean. I just am struggling to justify spending like $120 in Australia.
I
And,
think,
like-
yeah, but that's just, you're not going to find one cheaper.
And then like 2 weeks later, my nails have grown. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it just is what it is.
yeah. That's why I
Especially-
like Bali because like it's $30.
True, yeah. And just like their cost of livings, because here you got to think about like the cost of living and then you got to pay rent for the place you're in. You got to pay rent for the place you live.
Boring.
You got to like buy all the fucking products, and everything's so expensive here. So it's probably like pretty fairly
it'd be
priced.
fair.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I also feel high walking into an Australian nail salon for some reason. Like the
It's
smells.
not the same smell in Bali.
The smells are so intense. No, Bali just smells normal.
You know what though? In Bali, I noticed because we did it a couple times. You go in, and there was like 3 places where you could get your nails done in this nice big area. It's all pretty. Like there was only about 3 places where you could get your nails done, and then over there was like maybe something else. Here, they jam pack so like 20 people can be getting their nails done at the same time because they need to make the money.
True.
Fucking ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Okay. What gives off big dick energy? Making jokes about it being small.
That's you to a T. You know what you're doing. Yeah, buddy. You definitely didn't do that on purpose. What gives off big dick energy? Quote, tell me if you feel uncomfortable.
Damn.
Healthy little tip.
That is a good one.
It is a good one.
That's being controlling in an uncontrolling way.
Yeah.
That is being dominant and controlling in an uncontrolling way because he's about to do something, but he's saying, let me know if you feel uncomfortable. Damn. Okay.
Imagine if he's like driving his car really fast. Just let me know if you feel uncomfortable, right? Listen to this.
Oh, God. What gives off big dick energy? Henry Cavill.
Who's that?
You don't know who Henry Cavill is?
I've heard the name.
I'm not even going to tell you, bro.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm not. I'll just say this.
What?
You
Tell
have
me.
watched him in a few things.
What's he in?
Did you ever watch The Witcher?
Is that Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
He's hot. He's very hot.
He's really hot in that.
Yeah. He's depicted very well in that.
Yeah.
If I ever became an actor, I'd want to get like a film where I just see they make me sexy.
He just, something about him.
Yeah, there is something about it.
You know what it is? In that show, he grunts a lot. Instead of speaking, he instead of showing someone that he's acknowledged them, he'll just go, like, and I reckon girls just drop panties at that little grunt.
Yeah.
Not when you do it.
What gives off big dick energy? Matching rhythm and pace.
Matching rhythm and pace. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Maybe remember how I said that breathing thing? How you match their breathing when you're having sex?
Yeah.
Maybe that adds into that.
Yeah, true. So if you can link up with their breathing.
Yeah, it's rhythm and pace.
Imagine, so you link up with their breathing, right? And then she starts moaning. So you start linking up with the moaning. Or in the graphic audio of the first couple chapters of Economist and Fury, graphic audio, bro.
I
gotta
listen
say.
to the normal audio of Akator, and it's kind of sexy when you're like just walking on a normal street, and then there's like a sexy scene. You're like, ooh, I should be listening to this.
I was at the gym, just like warming up on the stairs.
You dirty dog.
And I was listening to this, and I was like, no one knows what I'm listening to right now. This is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the stairs too. Good on you.
I know.
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah.
What gives off big dick energy? Calling a date and making solid plans.
Facts. I feel like that's another thing we've learned. A date is a date.
A date is a date.
Own it.
Just admit that shit.
Yeah, own it. Even if it doesn't work out, own it.
Just like people, I don't know. Not everything's going to work out, but at least admit that you tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking hell.
This is my last one. It's sort of going off the one in the bedroom. What gives off big dick energy? Confidence, not cocky, confident.
Okay. Yeah, true. Sometimes confidence can come across bad.
Yeah, I think a lot of men steer the line towards cocky and miss the confidence.
What is it? It's kind of like, I guess the difference between cocky and confidence is, because I think the word cocky comes from obviously a rooster because they're called a cock. And roosters literally, they like strut and like show off that they're the top dog.
Yeah.
So cockiness is obviously someone that's just like doing too much.
I thought roosters got the name like cock from, they do cock-a-doodle-doo.
Oh. Well, I didn't say why they got the name. I just said they called a cock. But that's a good reason as to why they be called a cock. I mean, I can't. Or yeah, fair. Yeah, good observation there.
Thanks.
You got your animal sounds down.
I need to get my aura back.
When the grunting's forced, I gotta say, it's just not doing it for me. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, this is my last one. What gives off big dick energy? I don't. When they walk with their hands in their pockets, and even they said in brackets, I have no idea why.
Okay.
When a man walks with his hands in his pockets.
So when my hands are cold and I've got them in my pockets, people are like, he's got a big dick.
Hands in pockets. Okay.
I like it.
I always kind of try and go away from hands in pockets.
I feel like you look a bit boxy when you do that.
Maybe you look big, broad and big, and that's why.
Maybe, yeah. It's like flexing without flexing.
Yeah.
Kind of vibes.
Interesting. Hands in
I feel like that
pockets.
one was a little bit debunked. I got to disagree.
You don't think hands in pockets gives off BDE?
Nah.
They said they don't know why, though. It just affects them.
Maybe, yeah. Very
It could affect
individualized.
more.
Yeah, maybe. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Good episode. I enjoyed that. We have a whole conversation.
You know what we just said? If you want to sign up to sign off the episode, link is in the top of the description or link in bio on Instagram.
And that's the thing about a grunt, okay? It says so many more words than just one.
What did I just say now?
We are calling Jamie.
Let's do it.
Hi, this is Jamie. Please leave your name and number and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Bye.
Jamie, it's Jake and Oddie from Relatables. Pick up next week, please. We'll call you in about a week.
Is that what we're doing?
I mean, we could if you want.
We'll try again. If not, we'll use that.
Hi, this is Jamie. Please leave your name and number and I'll get back
Do
to you as
something
soon as
again,
possible. Thanks. Bye.
Jamie, it's Jake and Oddie. Please pick up next week. We're begging you. We tried you twice in one day. This is going in the episode, we'll have you know.
Yeah.
Pick up next week, please.
Please. That's
Okay.
it for today, guys.
Sorry, you don't get any. The only advice you got today is that grunting is sexy, apparently.
Yeah, it is too. We love you.
And don't eat passion fruit in fucking Bali.
I think that's a given.
There, stay
Or a
bad.
kilo of it.
Just don't eat a kilo of passion fruit ever.
Wait. I know how to finish it.
You said stay bad.